Well, it happened again. Just under 3 inches of rain in 24 hours. I thought that will be enough to test my sump system. As a refresher, water comes in from way back there somewhere. So I put the floor up above the concrete so water can flow under it. And I built this box here, which is also a stairway, as a sump. That's not a real sump pump, that's a pool pump. The water has to get about 3 feet deep before it'll trip on, and it trips off under normal conditions. Well, never if it's sitting on the floor. Anyway, it's a poor system, but it was cheap. I mounted the ball switch, the tip switch, so that it would trip on before this overflows and trip off before it's empty. The cord is so stiff it wouldn't work though. I had to redo that. Finally got it to where, yes, it will trip on, yes, it will trip off. For this rainy season, opened this up, cleaned it out. The water flows right down behind this step. I keep that blocked, keep wood chips out of it most of the year. I unblocked it early this morning when I came down to check, and there was no water flowing in. I went up to have breakfast, came back, water's flowing out of the top of this thing. It didn't go on. I checked, was it plugged in? Well, it was plugged in. I just need to be plugged in a little bit tighter. Meanwhile, I got water everywhere. Again. And even now that the sump is working, I think I still have inflow. Can't be sure because everything's soaking wet. But I think water might be going, could be. I could have water bypassing that. Coming down the other side of it, under the gun safe, and out over here somewhere where it seems water is flowing from. Although very, very slowly. You can see a little bit of flow right down there by my foot. And I mopped that out over there, pretty much filling up again, so I have wedges under the sill. 1 minute and 45 second cycle on that pump. It's off for 61 seconds or so. Trips on, runs for 44 or 45, trips off. A minute later, does it again. So I don't know how many gallons between trip on and trip off, but there's a hell of a lot of water coming in that I wish was not. Now I can't move my lathe around because although it's on wheels, wheels don't reach the ground because I got blocks under it, experimenting with various heights. Went up 1.5 inches here, thought it needed to be a little higher, so I put it up on blocks there to check first. Yeah, I like it, so I got to come up more here and get those blocks out from under it so I can roll it around and get it out of the floods. So my project, an improvement project, is there will be nothing on the floor that is not in plastic bins or plastic buckets. Something so that if this happens again, it won't matter. So, what have I got done today? Not a goddamn thing other than damage control, and here it is, 2:30. I've been down here 2 hours with this. Got to get those bags of once turned, drying out, presumably, so I can turn them again. It's been in there almost a year. Some of them probably been in there more than a year. They may be wetter now than when I started. I'm going to improve my flood control. What I'm going to do is, after this is all dry, if I live that long, after this is all dry, I think I've already fiberglassed, well, epoxied and fiberglassed the corners of this sump bin. I think I'll pull the pump out of there, put in wire cloth, galvanized wire cloth as lattice, and stucco the whole thing with a mortar, like a concrete swimming pool. See how that does. But not today. Right now, I'm dealing with all this. Okay, this is got blanks in it. This is full of blanks and wood. The big one over there is full of blanks and wood. I've still got stacks of blanks outside, which they don't really get rained on, but the rain blows in. And I got all this wood. Where's all this water coming from, you ask? Damned if I know. That pipe there is part of the roof drain from the far side of the house. That comes down here, and a pipe comes out here, but that's not all coming off the roof. There's a spring under my basement floor that when it rains, it pours. So that feeds into here too, and the curtain drain around the house feeds into here. So this is mostly from under my basement floor. I discovered that after a heavy rain just before we poured the basement slab. Got lucky there. Got a 4-inch pipe here, which is not enough. We got water flowing over the top. And I got a 6-inch pipe under the driveway. That's not enough. Got water flowing down where it used to be the ditch and out onto the driveway. So I got to go get a hoe and improve the drainage around here. See, we've got flow here. Look at the it's not sand, it's sawdust deposits right down here. We've got flow. It's flowing out under the sill because I've got it wedged up. I've got some leakage from that box. It's entirely possible that some is not even going into the box. There could be water coming down. The other side of this. There's no way to know that without moving this gun safe, which weighs a hell of a lot. So I think I'm going to line this with concrete with mortar, stucco the damn thing. There goes the pump. There's the pump. It'll run for 45 seconds. Should shut off any second now. Maybe the water has increased its rate. There it goes. God, I've never seen so much coming in from down there. Also, I got to get the wheelbarrow down here. I filled up the garden trailer, the ATV trailer, with wet chips. 17, I think 16 or 17 cubic foot trailer is full. But I added the 30-gallon trash can full of chips to it. That was dry. If that's getting a little bit jammed up with chips, I need to take a little slat and clean that out. Got a little slat around here somewhere just for that purpose. There it goes. That box is paraffin. That won't hurt. This box is, yeah, I have no idea. Okay, this is later in the day. It's almost 5 o'clock. Cut that corner, dry it out. Got a fan on it to really dry it out to see if water's coming in there. If that's wet in the morning, I know there's water coming in there. And I got another fan here under the steps so I can't see what's going on. The water seems to be coming in from behind the gun safe. But it may be just heaps of residual. But I don't think so. I've been mopping. Don't have a mop. Forgot to buy a new one after I threw the old rotten one away. So I used a bath towel. Makes a damn good mop. But here's something new. I'm getting ready to call it a day, go upstairs, and I look over here. The hell? This shelf is wet. Why is this wet? Well, for the first time ever, I've got water coming in over this wall. Behind this is the crawl under the house. Boy oh boy, that's a new one. That is a new one. That means I have to, just what I wanted to do today, go out and look under the goddamn house. Oh boy. My goal is to get everything on the floor in plastic bins and boxes. No more paper, no more cardboard. The only alternative is to build a raised floor here. But then I got a problem with the door, so I don't want to do that. I want to stop the goddamn leaks. Thought it might even be coming up through that crack, that joint between the floor and the concrete wall there, because this empties right outside. So I added about 4 feet or 3 feet of pipe to that to run that water out into the yard farther and not dump it right next to the house. See, there's a lot of water here, and I just mopped that out. This house is properly curtain drained at the footings. I watched them do it. Well, I'm tired of dealing with this today. Boy oh boy, this is wet. It's never been wet before. Thought I was through with flooding. It's getting ready to go again. There it goes. Every 1 minute and 45 seconds throughout the day today, it's clicked on, pumps for 44 or 45 seconds, shuts off. A minute or 61 seconds later, it's full again and it trips back on. Now I've got the problem of water. I know it's not 3/4 of an inch deep unless it's being blocked. Boy oh boy, I cleaned that so thoroughly before I put this plywood floor down there. Don't know what could be. Good thing that freezer doesn't weigh much. I might have to move that. Can't close the door tonight unless I pull the wedges out from under the door sill, and that means this could fill up to 1.5 inches. So I'm going to leave the door open. I keep sweeping this and it keeps staying wet. Still water coming in over here somewhere. I don't think there can be that much just lying there. Well, now, I did do one thing. I stuffed a little bit of rag right down there in that corner, so water coming down there is forced this way. Shouldn't be able to go behind the gun safe. Well, we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Dehumidifier must be wondering what's going on. That corner looks dry. I don't think anything's coming in there. But it's wet down here. It's wet back here. I am afraid I'm going to have to move this, which means moving that shelf, which is resting on top of it. Oh boy. And you wonder why I don't make many videos these days. I'm busy damage control. I plan to finish up all these little bowls today. See, I can't close the door any more than that. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, came down to fix this. It's a little bit of a run right there. I'm going to put urethane on the bottom. Ran down the side. I got to fix that before I put it on Etsy. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's been a 2 ale afternoon. .86 of rain at noon. I don't know how much has come in since. Almost half an inch since noon. It's 4:30, so we've got almost 4 inches of rain since yesterday morning.